What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my NASCAR cheat sheet video for the Pocono 350. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another NASCAR video. This time we are breaking down the Pocono 350. Pocono back-to-back. Wasn't the most exciting race, but I'm glad Kevin Harvick won. Had a pretty good amount of Kevin Harvick. This slate's weird. DraftKings did the pricing before we knew where they're starting, so the pricing is actually not bad compared to other slates, so that's really interesting. There are a lot of guys starting in the back like Joey Logano, Erik Jones. It's going to be a very, very chalky slate, but I'm really looking forward to it. Before I start the video, if you guys can leave a like, also subscribe if you haven't yet, really appreciate that. Just going to do a quick driver-by-driver breakdown here. As we see, I have my plays highlighted here for you guys. Have the key here, the core is in green, GPP is in yellow, fade is in red, punt is in orange. Have it all highlighted there. Going to do a quick video here. I have a lot of stuff to do on Patreon. I have to, projections are done, got to upload them, and then got to put my rankings in there, and I'll be all done with that. But, yeah, we have a lot of play stuff that's going to be important this week. It's going to be very important. We have guys starting towards the back or the mid of the field, so place differential is going to be key. I feel like only 140 laps. Don't really think Dominator is going to be too important. I even think some of these guys in the back can go up and dominate as well. So we'll start with Kyle Busch here, 11,000. I like him a lot. The price tag of 11,000, I think it's going to be kind of challenging to go up and get him with there. I'll get into it in a little bit, but there's not many good pump plays down there. But I think he's a fantastic play, starting 16th, average finish at 3.8 in his last 5 races with 2 wins, 200 laps led, which is the first best on the slate. Worst finish being 9 in those 5 races, an average driver rating of 124.8. I think is a really good play. Lots of place differential upside, and I even do think he can dominate. I like Kyle Busch quite a bit this week. Kevin Harvick, I like him here again. Had a lot of them last race, starting 20th. There's place differential. I do think he can get up there and dominate at some point. Average finish of 7.4 in his last 5 races with 198 laps led, which is the second best on the slate. I like these two a lot. It's just problem is a little bit pricey, and it is going to be a little tricky to go up and get them with there not being too much value down on the slate, because we'll get into it in a little bit. But all the value plays are starting like in the top 10, which is not good at all. But I think we can go up and get them, and I think they're fantastic plays. Another great play, Chase Elliott, starting 25th, average finish of 16.8 in his last 5 races. His worst finish being a 38th when he wrecked out, and then his best finish being 4th. I think Elliott's a fine play here. I don't really see him dominating any of this race, but I do see him maybe finishing in the top 10. He has 3 top 10s in his last 5 races. Would not be surprised at all if he did get in that top 5 even. So I think there's a lot of place differential upside for Elliott. Price of 10,400 is not bad. Starting 25th, I like that quite a bit. Denny Hamlin, starting 19th. I like this play a lot. Hamlin, in his last 5 races, average finish at 10.8 with the win, with 2 top 5s. His worst finish being 35th. He didn't finish that race, but Hamlin's very good here. Starting 19th, there's going to be place differential. I think everybody's going to, play Elliott, play Logano. I think Hamlin might be the odd man out here. I think he'll be popular, but he won't be as popular as like Elliott and Logano and even Harvick. So I do think people might overlook Hamlin, I hope, because I do like Hamlin quite a bit. Would not be surprised if we did see him go up there and dominate. I love that price of 10,200. Blaney starting 9th. Don't have him highlighted here, but he's fine. I think he can finish in the top 10. It's just not much place differential. Is he going to dominate? Probably not. In 10,000 is a little bit too much for Blaney. I know he's been racing amazing this year, but usually DraftKings prices him in like the 8,000 range, which is if they did that, I'd love him here. But 10,000, I'd honestly rather play Hamlin, Elliott, Harvick, but pretty much everybody in this range rather than Blaney at starting 9th at 10,000. Martin Truex Jr. starting 15th. I like this play quite a bit. Average finish of 12 in his last 5 races. Worst finish being 5th. He did not finish that race. He has 2 top 5s in the last 5 races, 3 top 10s. He's starting 15th. Going to be some place differential. I would not be surprised if we saw him dominate a little bit as well. Truex is 9,800. I love the price. Getting a lot of value there. I think it should be even more expensive than that. So, Truex is not a bad play. I'll definitely have some Truex. Keselowski starting 12th. Not an awful play as well. I like the price starting 12th. I think he can move up some. Don't necessarily see him, dominating much, but he can get a top 5, and that could be enough to get in the optimal lineup there. There's just some other plays I like, but I will for sure have some Keselowski. But I do like the guy below him a lot more. The guy below him is Joey Logano. He's going to be very chalky, though, that's the thing. But he's a fantastic play. Starting 36th, 9,400. I like the price. I think there's lots of place differential. Average finish of 18.2 in his last 5 races. His worst finish being 36th. Yeah, I think he's a fantastic play. He's only going to move up. Would not be surprised if we saw him in that top 15, top 10 at 9,400 on a race where there's not going to be many laps to dominate. You're going to want place differential guys, and Joey Logano is probably one of the best place differential guys on the slate. So I like Joey a lot. One of my core plays for sure. Jimmie Johnson starting 21. Not a bad play, 9,200. A little bit pricey for me, but starting 21, there's going to be place differential. I think he can move up. Typically not too good here lately. Average finish of 16 in his last 5 races. Only one top 10 in those 5 races, but definitely worth the shot. There is place differential starting 21st. Not going to have too much of him, but he's a fine play. Clint Bowyer starting 14th, 9,000, a little bit too expensive, but he's a good play. Average finish of 10.8 in his last 5 races with a top 5, 2 top 10s, 9,000. Like I said, not too intriguing there, but I do think it's a solid play. Maybe goes underlooked as well. Christopher Bell, 8,800, had a very good race last race, finished 4th. 8,800 is, again, a little bit too expensive. Starting 17th, I do think he can find that top 10, though. He's been racing amazing this year. But yeah, Bell, 8,800, starting 17th. I do think he can get a top 10. It could be enough to get on the optimal lineup. Don't see him dominating laps or anything. I'm going to have a little bit... starting 17th, I'd rather go down and get Bowman or go up and get Logano. He's just a little bit too pricey for me, but he's a fine play. William Byron, more of a GPP play here, probably 8,600, starting 7th. Maybe he finishes in that top 10. He has a top 5, his best finish being 4th. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think he's gonna be very, very low owned. 8,600. If he does finish in the top 5, probably gonna be enough to get in the winning lineup there. So Byron is a decent GPP option there, starting 7th. I'm not in love with it, but it should be a fine play there. Probably very low owned. Alex Bowman starting 27th. Average finish of 18.4 in his last 5 races with a top 5. His best finish being 3rd. I like this play a lot. 8,500 is a great price. Starting 27th, he's only going to move up. I think it's a safe play. Definitely one of my core plays. Hopefully we get him in that top 10. Kurt Busch. Not too interested in here. Starting 3rd, 8,300 is very intriguing, but starting 3rd, I only see him going back. Maybe he finishes, top 5 is a little bit pushing it, but I'm not too interested in Kurt Busch. Same with Stenhouse, 8,100, not loving it. Starting 4th, just not really any reason to play these guys on a slate where we are looking for place differential. Don't really think they're good plays. Kenseth, yeah, another guy I'm not too interested in here. Starting 10th, I only think he's going to go back. Maybe as like a GPP play. Maybe he finishes around the 10th, maybe 10th place, but probably not for me. MBD here, starting 8th, 7,800. The price is intriguing. I think he might be able to finish around that top 10, and that could be enough to get in the winning lineup at 7,800. But again, as somebody I'm not too interested in this week, I'd rather go down and get these 2 guys down here. Tyler Reddick starting 30th. I like this play a lot, 7,600. I think he's only going to move up. I think it's a safe play. I think there's some upside. Reddick's been very, very good this year. I know he didn't have the best race last race, but we got to forget about that. And yeah, I think it's a good play. 7,600 is a decent price for Reddick here, and lots of place differential, and that's what we're looking for. Erik Jones starting 38th. Probably the one of the best plays on the slate. Going to be very chalky. Yeah, he's had some bad luck the past couple of races. Like, people keep running into him. Like, he's not the one wrecking. Like, people are wrecking into him. And it's just very unfortunate, mostly because I'm like 60% Jones every race. He looks like such a good play, and then people end up wrecking into him. Hopefully that does not happen here. He is going to be chalky, maybe not as chalky as he should be because he has been wrecking when he has been like an amazing play. But starting 38th, I mean, hopefully he has a clean race. He's a fantastic play. I'm going to have a lot of them. I'm going to take a chance and have a lot of them and hope that he does not, wreck or have any trouble with his car or get a penalty or any of that. But starting 38th, he's only going to move up. He's very good here. Besides that finish of 38 last race, like he's been amazing here. So fantastic play, Erik Jones. Hopefully he stays out of trouble. Wallace starting 22. Don't hate it. Just would rather go elsewhere, but he'll be low owned most likely, and I do think there is a little bit of upside with Wallace. Aric Almirola starting 18th. Don't mind it. 7,200 average finish of 11.4 in his last 5 races. Pretty good here. I like the price, 7,200. And yeah, I like Almirola. I do. His best finish being 3, his worst finish being 25th. I think is a great play. Dillon starting 26th. This is the punt range I'm talking about. Like, there's not much down here. But Dillon starting 26th. I don't think there's much upside here. And I'll get into it in a second, but I might have to go down into the the very, very low tier here because there's not much here. Like Dillon, he's not going to do much. Maybe he squeaks out a top 20. He hasn't had a top 20 in his last 5 races here. Looking at his career in 7 races, he has 3 top 20s and 9 races actually. 3 top 20s and 9 races, but yeah, I don't think there's much upside here. Probably not going to play much of Dillon, and he's overpriced, so that's not good at all. Daniel Suarez, another guy that's overpriced. Probably not going to have too much of Suarez at all. Starting 28th, probably finish worse than where he starts. Is Cole Custer starting 5th. Yeah, not interested in that. Chris Buescher starting 11th. Now this is where it gets a little interesting. He's starting 11th. Maybe he finishes around the top 10, and that would be enough to get in the optimal lineup. On the slate, there's not much value, and maybe he finishes in that top 10 or near it, and that could be enough. So I will have a little bit of Buescher. As for Newman, not too interested in. Starting 6th. I mean, there's not much upside there for any of these guys, but maybe he finds a top 10, and maybe that's enough to get on the optimal lineup. John Hunter starting 24th. Maybe he gets a top 20, 6,100. He could get a top 20. He finished 24th his last race. I can see him definitely finishing better than that. I just don't think there's much upside, but it could be enough to get in the optimal lineup this week, but there being not much value here. Austin Dillon and Ryan Preece, very, very easy fades here. Honestly, maybe Dillon finds the top 10. I think Dillon's been very good this year, but Preece, don't think he's going to find the top 10 there. Only going to lose points there. So pretty easy fades for me there. Corey LaJoie, 5,600. The price is good. He's starting 23rd. I wish he was starting back a little bit more, but maybe he finds the top 20, and that's probably going to be enough to get in the optimal lineup if he does. McDowell, starting 13th. McDowell's been very good here and very good this year in general. So 5,500 if he does finish, around the 13th mark, that's going to be enough to get in the optimal lineup, and I do think he could. Average finish of 18 in his last 5 races with the top 10, finished 8th. His best finish of 8th. Yeah, he's been looking very, very good, so don't mind a shot on McDowell. I really don't. At that price, I think it's worth it, but it's not the prettiest play in the world, but there's not much down here. And as for going down here, not much I like down here as well. Poole starting 29th, not in love with it. Davison starting 34th, not in love with it. Maybe some Huff at starting 40th, take a shot on Huff. Other than that, like maybe some Gase, I don't know. I don't like playing guys down here, but maybe you have to this week because there is not much value. But probably just going to take my chances with guys like McDowell, maybe a shot on LaJoie, John Hunter, maybe a shot on Buescher as well. But that's about all I got for you guys. I'm actually really excited for this race to see how it plays out. Lots of good guys starting in the back. Hopefully, it's a little more of an exciting race than yesterday. Yesterday was not the most exciting race in the world, but it wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like. Also subscribe if you haven't yet. Really appreciate that. And yeah, let's win some money.